Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is running into this critical area of support again as more liquidity is starting to build below the price of Bitcoin, which we need to pay attention to. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment, alongside Ethereum, which is now rejecting from this important Fibonacci level, while the price of Solana is still bouncing around sideways within a sideways price range, alongside XRP doing the same thing. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is technically still within a larger bull market. We've not yet confirmed any new bear market based on at least the higher lows and higher highs on these larger timeframes. And if we're taking a look at this 4-day Bitcoin chart, the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bull market. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart right here, of course, as I've said recently here on the channel, we've recently confirmed a bearish crossover in the weekly Bitcoin MACD. And the last couple of times this has happened, we did see more bearish price action either over the next few weeks or even over the next few months. And so obviously this signal does not tell us exactly how much bearish price action we could see, but ultimately as of right now we are lacking momentum to either direction. So we're not really seeing a lot of bullish momentum or bearish momentum. So honestly, I'll not be surprised if the price of Bitcoin simply just remains range bound for potentially the coming weeks, basically in a larger sideways consolidation, chopping around sideways. And we also have to be aware of the fact that on this weekly Bitcoin chart, we also have a massive bearish divergence, which is technically confirmed on this Bitcoin chart, with higher highs already confirmed in the price in the candle closes and lower highs currently confirmed in the weekly Bitcoin RSI. And the last time we saw a bearish divergence on the weekly time frame was not actually back here. Of course, that was the last time a bearish divergence formed of a similar size, but we saw a small bearish divergence right here on the weekly Bitcoin chart with very slight higher highs in the price and lower highs in the RSI. And what came next was a bit of a dump in the price of Bitcoin, but not necessarily a massive bear market like what we saw in 2022. And so a bearish divergence by itself does not always cause a major bear market. In fact, there are many other causes to the 2022 bear market, not just this bearish divergence. So keep that in mind. Even though this major warning signal is on the Bitcoin chart, it does not necessarily guarantee that a bear market's starting right now. But what it does mean is that we are currently losing a lot of bullish momentum, at least in the somewhat shorter term relative to the weekly time frame. So in other words, the larger bullish market is starting to slow down. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, at the time of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin has just retested this critical area of support, sitting in between around 95,000 to 96,000. And as of right now, we're currently seeing a very slight bounce from this area of support, proving that at least right now, this is still acting as major support in the short term. There's still a lot of buyers currently within this area. But if we actually see a confirmed break with, for example, an 8-hour candle close, or especially a daily candle close below around 95,000, in that case, it's very likely we'll see a drop down towards around 92 to 93K approximately as the next area of support. And especially around 91 to 92K, that is a very critical level for the price of Bitcoin on this 8-hour time frame and also on the daily time frame. And as for resistance, we do have a lot of resistance at roughly around 98 to 99,000. And of course, we've just recently seen a rejection from basically in that area in between around 98 to 99,000 acting as resistance. But if we actually see a confirmed breakout back above around 99,000 and especially back above 100,000, in that case, we have a lot of resistance in this price range in between 101,000 to 103,000 and significant resistance in between 106,000 to 107,000. And we also have very important liquidity to pay attention to, which is building on this Bitcoin liquidation heat map. But just before talking about that, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I take a lot of my trades over on Bitfinex. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bitfinex below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim some massive exclusive rewards that are only available using that link. So if you simply just click that link to make your account account and start trading on that account, you can get up to a brand new Tesla, or if you don't want the Tesla, you can get 35,000 USDT into your account, which you can actually withdraw. Or you could get a bunch of other prizes here just simply by trading crypto. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link below this video. And remember, you can only claim these rewards if you actually use that link below this video to make your account. And also, in case you're wondering, Bitfinex is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we have a lot of liquidity starting to build at just underneath 94,000. And in fact, we have over $200 million worth of long positions that would potentially get liquidated if the price of Bitcoin breaks below around 93.9K. So we need to pay attention to that level right there. So of course, that would require a break below this area of support. So in the meantime, this support is preventing that all of that liquidations right there, all of that liquidity getting taken out. And so obviously, like I just said earlier, that's the area of support to pay attention to for now, in between 95,000 to 96,000. But if that breaks, and especially if we break below around 94,000 approximately, expect a quick move, most likely down towards around 92,000 as the next significant level of support. And also, in case you're new to all of this, usually, not always, but usually the price of Bitcoin tends to move towards where there's a lot of liquidity building, especially if it's somewhat close to the price. So keep that in mind. Basically around that 94K level, that could be acting as a bit of a magnet in the short term, possibly causing perhaps a little dip down to take out that liquidity, and then maybe just to bounce back up before the candle close in order to avoid the break to the downside, kind of like what we saw just the other day. But overall, I am relatively neutral on the price of Bitcoin in terms of the momentum or the trend in the shorter term, because we're simply lacking momentum to either direction. We do not have a lot of bullish momentum or a lot of bearish momentum, as I've been saying over the last week, give or take. And of course, that's exactly been playing out as expected in the form of choppy sideways price action. And I do continue to expect similar price action to this, especially over the next couple of days. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at Ethereum on this weekly time frame, right now the price of ETH is still coming into contact with this massive ascending line of support, which is sitting at just above 2.6K. So not much has changed on this chart over the last one day. So getting straight into this 3-day Ethereum price chart. And as of recording this video, the price of ETH just recently bounced from close to this 50% retracement level, acting as support at just above 2,500. And as for resistance, we have this previous Fibonacci level of support, which was also previous resistance, which is once again acting as resistance, and that's sitting at very close to 2.8K. And just over the last one day, that's pretty much exactly where the price of ETH rejected from, at around 2.8K, acting as resistance. And so in the somewhat shorter term, the price is basically forming a bit of a sideways price range, as it is bouncing from this retracement level of support at around 2,500, but rejecting from 2.8K. So keep that in mind. That is the strong support and resistance here in the shorter term. And of course, we have a lot more support in between, around 2150 to 2.2K, and also closer towards 2.3K as another major point of support if we were to break below around 2,500. But if Bitcoin just chops around sideways over the next couple of days, it's very likely Ethereum will play out something similar to what Bitcoin is doing, so keep that in mind. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the 8-hour time frame, the price of Solana is also playing out very similar price action to Bitcoin and Ethereum, basically chopping around sideways within a bit of a sideways price range, at least in the shorter term, currently lacking momentum to either direction. Of course, we're seeing slight little bullish moves and bearish moves, but not a lot of momentum. And so when it comes to support and resistance to watch out for, as of right now, we are running into this line of support at pretty much exactly $190, and basically just a few cents below 190. We do have support around there. And as for other points of support and resistance, we have a lot more support in between around 178 to 183, and a lot of resistance in between around 199 to $205, and also more resistance closer towards around 220. But as I've already been saying for quite some time now on the channel, at least in the shorter term, the price once again is most likely going to play out a bit more choppy sideways price action between these points of support and this area of resistance, basically chopping around within a sideways price range, which over the last 1 week approximately has been playing out pretty much exactly as expected. And if we're taking a look at XRP on the daily time frame, XRP is continuing this slight bounce from this important area of support, which, in case you're new to this channel, this area of support is still sitting in between around $2.25 to $2.30. And as of right now, we are continuing a slight relief up towards this area of resistance, which is sitting in between around $2.58 to $2.73 based on previous resistance. But in the meantime, the price is currently lacking momentum to either direction, at least in the shorter term. Obviously, over the last 1 week approximately, we've been lacking bearish momentum and lacking bullish momentum. Of course, we have seen a slight bullish relief, but not really a lot of momentum like what we were seeing previously. And so despite the fact that this larger bearish divergence is technically still active on this XRP chart, at least in the shorter term, we're lacking momentum, currently trading within a bit of a sideways price range. And especially while Bitcoin and a lot of the other major altcoins out there are chopping around sideways, not doing all that much, it's very likely XRP will play out similar price action. And it's basically the exact same story for Chainlink. Taking a quick look at the daily Chainlink chart, the price of Chainlink as of right now is basically just bouncing around sideways between this level of support, the 50% retracement level at around $17.70, but really in between $17.70 to $18. That's the area of support I'll be watching. And as for resistance, we have a lot of resistance in between around $19.50 to $20 based on previous support becoming new resistance. So in the shorter term, the price is simply just bouncing around between that support and resistance. And if we were to see a confirmed break below around $17.70, in that case, we have the important golden pocket area of support in between around $14.90 to $15.50. And if we were to finally see a breakout back above around $20 with candle closes above $20, in that case, I would expect to move potentially up towards around $21.70. So closer towards around $22, give or take, as the next resistance. But for now, the larger price structure on the daily Chainlink chart is technically more bearish than it is bullish. It's just in the immediate short term, we're lacking momentum to either direction, as I've been saying, chopping around sideways within a sideways price range. So that is simply the situation right now for Chainlink and honestly a lot of altcoins out there. And once again, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links below this video to claim those extra bonuses on those exchanges. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, you can profit from all of that price action by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.